Hi, my name is Alexia from Ted-Ed Club Braila, and today I'll be talking about something that's really important to me. And that is music. I started playing the piano when I was 6, and I started playing the guitar recently, so it's no wonder that music has been a really great part of my identity. I started wondering whether there's more to that. So, the question I'm going to answer today is, what does music really say about us? Well, in order to do that, I should go to my beginnings. And it all started with this guy, Justin Bieber. And I'm saying this because I believe when I was 12, this is the first time I actually chose an artist because I liked him, not because he was imposed to me by radio stations and television posts. So I started finding Justin Bieber on YouTube, and at that time when I was 12, he was playing pop music and also kind of rap music. But then when I was 14, I started listening to Kurt Cobain or Nirvana, and I started delving into the realm of grunge and rock. And now I can proudly say that I listen to anything under the sun, which would be Justin Bieber dressed in a Nirvana shirt. Basically, anything. I started by making this diagram of the things that I usually listen to. So I have subgenres of rock, such as progressive rock, King Crimson, alternative rock, Red Hot Chili Peppers, grunge like Soundgarden and Nirvana, new wave like Blondie, punk like The Clash, pop like Demi Lovato, musicals like The Rocky Horror Picture Show and Rent, Disney like High School Musicals, which basically Disney is a branch of musicals, but I wanted to add that as well, and indie, like Elliott Smith and Tom Odell. But talking just about my musical preferences is not enough to come up with an answer to that question. And therefore, I took a survey of my classmates to find out what they are listening to. And this is what I found out. The extroverted people from my class listen to mainly pop music, so that will be Michael Jackson, Katy Perry, Enrique Iglesias, Maroon 5, Ariana Grande, or Imagine Dragons, Ed Sheeran, and so on and so forth. But the introverted people in my class were listening to Deadmau5, Phil Collins, and Chopin. That's actually what all people listen to, but the majority in my class, that's what it turned out. Diving even deeper into my research on the same diagram of myself and my music preferences, I soon realized that my friends actually listen to quite similar stuff as I listen to. So I have friends that listen to alternative rock, but don't listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, yet listen to Panic! At the Disco. I have friends that listen to grunge, but don't listen to Soundgarden or Nirvana, they actually listen to Queens of the Stone Age. And I have friends that listen to indie, like Foy Vons and Sia, but don't actually listen to Elliott Smith and Tom Odell. What exactly does this mean? Well, Phil Oakes said, "Families that stay together, slay together." Meaning that the people in my class that were listening to similar genres actually tended to be friends, but they didn't listen to exactly the same type of music. I found out that the people that listen to the subgenres of the same genres tend to be really great friends. And that's why I separated my classmates into groups. And realized the same phenomenon happening. So you see people that listen to Selena Gomez or Ed Sheeran, which is mainly pop, but then you see a shift. People start listening to slightly rock music, which is Queen. And then even a greater shift when you see that they're also friends with people that listen to Metallica. This guy that is listening to Metallica from this group is also part of this other group, which mainly listens to rock and roll and metal music. That's why you see that he's friends with people that listen to Slayer, Nirvana, Five Finger Death Punch, and Pink Floyd. But the same goes again. There is this other person that happens to listen to Nirvana, and it's also part of the group that listens to alternative music, such as King Crimson, Phil Collins, Deadmau5, and Joy Division. And the process goes on and on and on, and it's a continuous cycle. But the main point is that we don't only listen to only one genre of music, we listen to multiple. This is why this whole phenomenon is happening. But what does my music preference really say about me? Well, indie might say that I'm reserved and artistic, while musicals might say that I'm idealistic, because most songs out of musicals are really idealistic, and inspiring. Maybe pop music would say that I'm social or trendy. Maybe new wave and punk could say that I'm rebellious, and rock could say that I'm creative and fun. But there is more to music than genres and bands. There is also the reason behind it, the reasons why I listen to music. And these are some examples of what I listen to and why. So, on one hand, you have this song. It's called Some People, and it's from a musical. It's from Gypsy. And I listen to it mostly because of the lyrics, because it's so inspiring. So the lyrics say something along the lines, some people can get a thrill knitting sweaters and standing still. That's okay for some people who don't know they're alive. For me, this meant a lot, because this encouraged me to continue to pursue my passion, regardless of what other people say. And also, there are some songs that remind me of certain places, people, or just made me feel in a certain way. For example, Sundress by A$AP Rocky reminds me of a former classmate. Hand in Glove by the Smiths reminds me of English summers, whenever I went to England to visit a friend of mine. And Runaway by Del Shannon reminds me again when I was on a trip with my parents and I didn't know this song, but it was playing in the background while a fountain was dancing to the music, and I fell in love with the song. But there's more to that you can analyze for yourself, because the question is not what music says about my personality, it's what it says about yours. So one should really think about the reasons. Why do you listen to music? That will tell you why you started this conversation, why you listen, what the lyrics mean to you. I cannot personally say what they mean to you, and no other psychology professional can tell you that. You and your only self can do that on your own. Just find out the lyrics, the ones that you relate to the most, and those will speak for you. Instrumentals, do they make you feel in a certain way? Is it the piano? Is it the drums? Is it the guitar? Is it the electric guitar or the acoustic guitar? There are many things to consider. And environment is really important. Is your musical preference and your personality influenced a lot by the environment you grew up in? Maybe you grew up in a country where they only listen to a certain type of music. Maybe you grew up in a neighborhood that listened to a certain type of music. But you're the only one that can actually answer to these questions for yourself. So, you have the answer to this question. What does music really say about you? You know it. You just don't know it yet.